أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to today's very special episode of Youth Perspectives. I'd like to start out by congratulating everyone on the birth anniversary of Bibi Fatima salamu alaiha, the daughter of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the leader of the women of paradise. I'd like to congratulate all the believers and the Imam of our time on that. And I'd also like to congratulate all the mothers out there. Today is actually Bibi Fatima Salam Alaiha's birthday. In some Islamic countries is also known as Mother's Day. So, congratulations, I guess, to all the mothers out there. It's actually also Women's Day. Today, it was a lot of things today, alhamdulillah. It's also Women's Day, so I guess congratulations to all the women as well. Joining me on today's program, Brother Hussain. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you doing today, Brother Hussain?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, alhamdulillah. Brother Hussain, let's get into it. How was your, today? What is today? Bibi Fatima Salam Alaiha's birthday is one of those days. It's known for, all the sweets you can imagine, all the snacks you can imagine, biryani up to your leg, Brother Hussain. How was today for you?
I definitely experienced that. We still have leftover cake,
Wow.
leftover cake because we had so many cakes.
Man, alhamdulillah. These are the Muslim givings, Muslim Thanksgivings. These are the times where you got to buckle up. This is definitely the time. So, Brother Hussain, we're going to be talking about respect towards parents. Now, we know the respect that Bibi Fatima Salam Alaiha had for her parents, of course, and how much she helped Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, so much that they called her, what was her nickname? That she's the mother of her father. That's how much he took care of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu after, before and even after Bibi Khadija Salam Alaiha passed away. So, inshallah, we're going to be discussing a couple sayings from the Ahlulbayt about respect towards parents. And inshallah, we can also talk about today, Brother Hussain. Today, the sort of difference between respect towards parents today and, sort of how it was, hey, let's say 50 years ago, maybe, take a look at the difference of that. Because, of course, it is a very different world. Let's see how, talk about sort of how that's evolved, you can say. If you think about it, like we have our personal birthdays, I have my birthday, you have your birthday, but the birthday of the Ahlulbayt, the birthday of the family of Prophet Muhammad, the birthday of these best of people, if we look at our birthday and I want to have a cake, I want to feel good. Imagine this day is times 10 of that, you can even compare it to an Eid, this, the importance of this day. So, inshallah, like I said, Brother Hussain, we can, I'm going to go over a couple sayings actually. And I think, it'd be interesting. We can, talk about this, some sayings from the Ahlulbayt, regarding parents. Of course, respect towards parents, and the position that our parents had, basically their rank, in terms of, the good deeds that's involved. Now, I'm going to go over the first saying, and it says that it's about the rank of our parents. And there's a thing from Imam Reza alayhi salam, our eighth Imam. And it says, Imam Reza alayhi salam, peace be upon him, has said, Allah, the Mighty, the Glorious, has commanded three things with which he has associated three other things. He associated payment of zakat along with prayers, such that one who offers prayers but desists from offering zakat, his prayers are rejected. He associated gratitude to him with gratitude towards parents, such that one who is grateful to Allah but ungrateful to his parents will be deemed as ungrateful to Allah. He associated righteousness with bonds of kinship, such that one who is righteous but has severed relations with his kin will be deemed as not being righteous. So, Brother Hussain, what do you make of that?
What you're saying was rank, right? The parents' rank. I think that's how close they are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How close the parents are, right? So, if you're not grateful to them, which means, they have a high rank. So, if you're not grateful to them, then It's as if you're not grateful to Allah.
We're the same. Like I think of Bibi Fatima salam alaiha, in Hadith Kasa, when it mentions that, when the angel Jibreel is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is under this cloak? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it says that this is Fatima, this is Fatima's husband, this is Fatima's father. It goes through Bibi Fatima salam alaiha. And what does that tell us? That tells us the rank, the position that Bibi Fatima salam alaiha has with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That she's on that level, that they're going through her. And brother Hussain, like we were saying about today, like what would you say, for example, respect towards parents today, and basically what society or what the current generation, I guess, would you say that being respectful to our parents, obeying our parents, do you think that this is sort of something that's sort of not as much as a priority as it used to be?
Well, yes, I do think it has changed, because nowadays, even in like movies and TV shows, they show like how like the children of the parents are always like radicals and rebels, and they're like their own isolated person.
Yeah,
I think that it's kind of like partially true, but not really. It's like that, but not like to the full extent. Oh yeah, I'm a rebel, man. Not that.
Yeah.
That exact extent.
Yeah, you can look at, for example, like imagine, okay, let me give you an example here, brother Hussain. Think about, like, have you ever seen the Andy Griffith Show?
Yes, I am familiar with the Andy Griffith Show.
It's a pretty good show, highly recommended,
Yeah.
So basically what I see, the Andy Griffith Show is an example of, it was made in, I think, 1966, around the 60s. And what I see is it's an example of, the type of show that's, entertainment, but also has these life lessons. And it basically revolves around, Sheriff Andy Taylor, who is, the sheriff of like a small town called Mayberry. And it shows the small town problems and all this. But another, one of the biggest themes that it has over there, is it shows the relationship between, Andy Taylor and his son. And so what I see, it shows many different things, and you can look at like that's sort of a look in. Obviously, it's a TV show, not everybody's like this, but it does show that, for example, at the time, in the 1960s, maybe you can say that they were looked at in a different light. You can say, for example, that the position that the parents had, like even the father, that the father was sort of this, seen as this, big figure, basically.
Role model.
Yes, perfect. Finally. Thank you, brother Hussain.
It was kind of like they looked up to their parents as like, oh yeah, they were like a celebrity. They wanted to copy everything they do. Right? But not, and then like in that Andy Griffith Show, right? Like if he did something wrong and then his father would be disappointed in him, he wouldn't want that. He would immediately try and change that because he didn't want to be disappointed. He didn't want his father to be disappointed in him because he looked up to him so much. He didn't want to be untrusted like amongst his father because he looked up to him so much. It's because like today, like with the internet and everything, like YouTube and everything, people think that, oh yeah, just because I have the internet means I know anything. Like how to cook, I can just go search it up.
Yeah, exactly.
I can just search it up on the internet. But you can't really search up experience. You have to actually know someone that has experience with the matter that you want to solve. You actually need someone that actually has experience. Otherwise, if you just go search it up on the internet, you'll never find what you actually need. I mean, sure, you can find it to a certain extent, but you can't find like the exact like experience and everything.
Yeah, and especially today, there's also a huge changing of values, right? Because like you were saying about the internet was obviously the huge thing. And the difference is that you see that this sort of changing the values that people have. Maybe back then, whatever they're trying to do back then. But today, what is it about? It's about, especially with social media It's about how many followers you have. It's about how other people see you. Online, especially. These people that, we don't even know. And the second one I'm going to talk about is obedience towards one's parents. And Brother Hussain, this is exactly what we'll be talking about. The Messenger of Allah's peace and blessings be upon him and his family said, one who follows the orders of Allah with regards to obeying parents shall have 2 doors of paradise opened for him. And if there happens to be only one parent, 1 door of paradise shall open for him. So, Brother Hussain, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He's comparing obeying our parents. He's comparing it to a door in paradise. That one who obeys his parents, a door in paradise will open for him. So that, like I said, it's just another thing about if we're obedient to our parents, we do what our parents tell us to do. This is the result. You can also look at, for example, the school system today. Brother Hussain, what do you think about, for example, the school system today? What part do you think this plays in sort of the role of parents in basically today's world, or maybe the way people see it?
Well, honestly, in like school, it's 8 hours of the day, right? And that's where they spend most of their day. And like the children spend most of their day in school. That's where they meet their friends, their teachers, right? But like honestly, it's kind of changes someone's thinking. It depends on what school you're in.
Yeah, that's a huge part.
It changes. Like if it's a good school, yeah, it's good. But like if it's like it can actually like change a person's behavior. Like if there's like even one person in that school can affect everyone. Like this coronavirus, right? If it infects one person, it can affect another and another and another. If there's one bad apple, it goes to another. If there's one bad person in that school, it goes to everyone because it's an infection. Like,
yeah, what do you think? Especially also the friends that you have. Like some people think, whatever, but at the end of the day, this all has a huge impact on us.
Like even like if you see your friend or something, like treating his parents, like they're like, oh yeah, saying like bad things to his parents, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe you'll do the same thing. Then you'll start saying that to your parents. And then you'll be like, you used to be like a good person, obedient to parents, right? And then you hear one person say something else, and then you completely change your entire thing.
Yeah, just imagine, like you were saying about the friends that you have, and school is what, 7-8 hours a day. So imagine that these are the people that you're with, for 7-8 hours a day. A lot of times, they're people, of course, their parents are very busy. They end up spending more time with these people at school, say, than, with their actual parents. So I think that especially the school system, it has a huge role to play in people's lives. And when you have a school system, for example, I remember someone saying that when they brought their son to school, they were at one of these parent-teacher conference meetings. And the teacher said something like, the principal said something, we can't wait to mold your child into, whatever. We can't wait to mold your child. And she's like, you're not molding anyone. You're not molding my child. I'm going to do that. So I think that this is where it is, because the school system, the schools especially, they have a huge role in people's lives. And that they sort of overtake the role of the parent a little bit, you can say. Like we're saying, for example, 60 years ago, a school is what? A school is school. You go there, you learn math, you learn, whatever, you go home. But today, especially, where a school is 10 times more than a school.
Yeah, honestly, as you were saying, like with the, as you were saying, like about the teachers, right? It's kind of weird, in a school, right? 8 hours a day. What do you do? What does a child do in its regular day, right? 8 hours in school. When he comes home, what does he do? He doesn't go, oh yeah, spend time with his parents, this and that. He eats, and then he goes back to, he like studies homework, goes back to sleep.
And inshallah, I'm going to go over to the next saying which is about kindness to parents. And Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam says, goodness towards the parent is an indication of a person's excellent cognization of Allah. This is because there is no worship that can take a person towards the happiness of Allah faster than exhibiting respect towards his Muslim parents for the sake of Allah. Brother is saying, why do we do anything in this world, really? We do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, this is how, basically, I think anybody should see it, is that, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is telling us that if we want to get to that goal, this is, one of the quickest ways to get the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so, like, what do we know, right? What do we know? Me and you, we're not here talking and, telling people anything. We're just going from what the Imams and the Prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say. They're the best of people. They have the knowledge. They understand our goals in this world. They understand where we want to be. And they understand, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do. And so what I think we can take away from this, there's many different things that we can take from this. But Brother Hussain, I would say that the main thing, what are some of the changes you think that we can make today to be more respectful towards our parents, to, treat our parents better, and inshallah, earn the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through doing that?
Of course, manners, right?
Yeah.
I think, right, like how people pay too much attention to school, right? You should pay enough attention to school, right, so you get good grades. But you should kind of, like, keep a half mind so you can kind of, like, pay attention to your parents and everything. So, like, sometimes, like, if your head is too focused on school and everything, if your parents are saying something, you won't answer because you can't hear them or something, right? Or you're just not listening. So you should try and, like, have your ears open, kind of like open-minded, so you can kind of, instead of just focusing on one thing, then you can kind of, like, if you respect your parents more.
That's a great point. Also, you can also add in there, I think, like you were saying about the school, having better friends. I think finding, spending your time with people who have respect for their parents. What you're thinking is that, do you want to spend your time with these people, bad people, basically, let's say, people who aren't helping you, they're actually having a negative impact on you? Or do you want to spend your time with people who are having a positive impact on you and people who are actually helping you? I mean, that's really the question at the end of the day, Brother Hussain. It's just, which one do we want to do? And I think that in order to get there, we need to be careful, who we spend our time with.
As you were saying before, like, about, like, the certain friends that you have, you should spend your time wisely, and you should spend your time with people who will help you and help you better yourself. Because if you're spending your time with people that aren't helping you and they're making you worse, then that is a complete waste of time. You're just literally wasting your life.
Exactly. And, like, it's all about, niyat. Is because if our niyat is that, what we're doing, we want our niyat to be, even if you're watching a movie or you're doing, whatever you're doing, I mean, you want it to be with, good people who they're going to help you in this world. And like you're saying, it all starts with, the people we spend our time with, our friends. So, good friends around you, if you have good friends around you, you have good people, these people are going to help you grow. But if you don't, you're going to sort of get off track. You're going to make it harder for yourself, really, at the end of the day. You can say, because, like, imagine, you're trying to get to that point. You're trying to be on the right path, the path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you have sort of people that are, grabbing the steering wheel and trying to make you go left instead of right, and it makes it a lot harder for you, and it, wastes a lot of time. It wastes a lot of energy. So instead of trying to backtrack, we just want to go fully straight, focus on the road. I think the, mentality that we have to have. And of course, following people on the straight path, Brother Hussain, is, another thing, like who we follow. Like I'm saying, like Brother Hussain, thanks for, you're on the show today. We're, alhamdulillah, having this discussion about, you know, Bibi Fatima salam alayham, and we look at the different sayings from the Ahlulbayt. These are the people you follow. These people, you can't even put into account in like worldly of how they are, of their status, of their knowledge. You can't put it into, like, I can't say that, like Imam Jafar Sadiq. You can't put it into account. This isn't, the Imams, the prophets, Bibi Fatima salam alayha, they're not trying to give us the test prep. They're not trying to get us ready for the test. They're giving us the answers. They're telling us, okay, here's the answer. Here's how you answer it right here, because they know how to act, So, inshallah, we're able to, follow their example. Just trying to, I guess, spend more time with our families is, I think, an important thing to do. I think that people, a lot of times, like you were saying, that because your day revolves around school. So, and obviously other people, your day revolves around work. So everything you're doing is around that. So I think what we need to do is sort of make time to spend with our families. And, even if it's, let's say, you're watching a movie.
And honestly, like, it's family time, right? You should try to start something small. It doesn't have to be something big. You can even start it off with like maybe a board game, right? But you should try and at least squeeze in a little time for family time, of course.
Monopoly, go
Great.
to. I think what we can take from this is that we need to, of course, like I was saying about respecting our parents, the people we spend our time with. And at the end of the day, it all really revolves, everything leads back to spending our time wisely. That we want to have time. Obviously, a lot of times we're very busy. We have a lot to do. There's always a test, or there's always something that's coming up. There's always something. But to make time and put effort, we have to see that what's important in life. Because at the end of the day, Brother Hussain, it's not just that, it's not just that we want to do the minimum. It's not just that, your parent says to you, hey, Hussain, take out the garbage. Just take out the garbage. We want to take out the garbage first. We want them to feel that, they don't even have to ask us, that we just do it ourselves. We want to get the extra credit. We don't want to just get the basic. Somebody says do something, like a robot, or, even like the way we speak, how we speak to our parents, we want to use the best language. We want to be, as nice, as kind as possible. And Brother Hussain, Bibi Fatima salam alayha, we know how she acted. Brother Hussain, you did do you have any, maybe a little thing to share for us today? I saw you did your program on Wiladat Kids was an interesting program about Bibi Fatima salam alayha. Do you have anything else you'd like to, add about her?
Well, yeah, her respect for her father, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu Allahumma her respect for him, like, and how, like their connection, because like whenever she Prophet Muhammad sallallahu Allahumma sallallahu whenever he came back from a journey, and he would like go to the whenever he came back from a journey or something, she would be like the first person he saw. And whenever he like went to like when he was going off to a journey, she would be like the last person she saw, the last person he saw before he left. So like there's a huge connection between them, especially after Bibi Fatima salam alayha's mother died, Bibi Khadija, because like yeah, and then Biha, because like she took care of her father as if she was like a mother to him. because she took care of it.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Hussain. That was, a nice thing you were able to share. I think we wrapped it up pretty well, Brother Hussain. I think we discussed everything discussed. We talked about a lot of interesting things today. Um, we started off, we went into many different areas, alhamdulillah, but we started about the respect towards parents. And I think that it all leads that, inshallah, we can try to be more mindful of our respect to parents. We have to be, um, you know, we have to understand sort of the position that our parents have, that their position is that, being kind to our parents, that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees it. We went over many different sayings. For example, like I said, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that being kind to our parents, when we're kind to our parents, the door in heaven opens. So, inshallah, we're able to look at the sayings of the Ahlulbayt, and we're able to understand the sayings of the Ahlulbayt. And inshallah, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we're able to implement this in our own lives. Because a lot of times we get information, we're not able to implement it. Inshallah, on the day of Bibi Fatima salam alayha's birth anniversary, inshallah, we're able to implement it into our own lives. Well, that's all the time we have left for today. Thank you, Brother Hussain, for joining us on today's very special program. Now we're going to do Allahumma kulli waliyaka for the safety and protection of our 12th Imam, and inshallah, our 12th Imam comes soon. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma kulli waliyaka ibn al-Hasan.
صلواتك عليه وعلى
في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا ناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك تهوى وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعلى فاطمة. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khuda Hafiz.